Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the Season 5 Reloaded update is here, and there is many buffs and nerfs to a lot of the weapons, and so I went through every single meta class setup for ranked, and I gave an updated setup to it, and so if you're trying to rank up, you're in the right place. Which the first weapon we are going to be going over is the Val 46, and I believe this is actually better than the VAZNEV. I always do better with it, noticing a lot more players are using this, and so let me know in the comments, do you like the VAZNEV more or the Val 46? With all that said though, for the first attachment on your Val 46, you guys want to go over to the muzzle, and this is gonna basically be universal for every single gun in the game or every single submachine gun. Throw on the spiral flash hider. This is just gonna remove a lot of that recoil, making it a lot easier to hit your shots. Yes, it is bringing down the mobility, but this gun's already got a lot of mobility, so it shouldn't really matter. This next attachment, we are going to be going over to the underbarrel, and I recommend you guys to add the shark fin 90. Although if you are a little bit newer to the game, or I would say diamond rank and below, you might actually want to go ahead and throw on the commando foregrip just so you have a little bit more recoil control, or you can even throw on the edge 47. It's just the mobility isn't going to be that good. For the next attachment, go over to the magazine and throw on the 30 round mag. This is going to severely make the weapon a lot lighter, leading to you getting into more engagements because you can move around the map quicker. You're going to be able to win more gunfights, plus you actually can reload a lot quicker. And so yes, we are losing ammo, so you have to reload more often, but you're going to be able to reload a lot quicker, and so I think it balances it out. For the next attachment, increase the mobility even more, you guys want to go over to the rear grip and throw in the Skalager soldier grip. This is just going to make it so you can fire your weapon a lot quicker after sprinting. So if you're running around, you see the enemy, you guys see each other at the same time, you should be able to win the gunfight because this gun has a insane sprint to fire speed. For the next attachment, you guys want to go over and throw in the Demo RXT stock. Yes, we are losing some recoil control, but you guys are going to see there is still no recoil in the build. Super easy to use. Although if you are struggling a little bit, then you might want to throw in the Assault 60 stock. This is going to literally eliminate all recoil. It's just the mobility isn't going to be that good. So with all that said, if you guys do want a screenshot of the class, here you guys go. I am running a knife as my secondary. If I am on the map Hydro, then I will be running a pistol class, and I'll show you guys the pistol class in a little bit. Always going to be running a stun. I run the Semtex if I'm on respawn. If I'm playing search and destroy, I will run the frag grenade. I always run the same perks, and then for the field upgrade, you always want to run the dead silence with your submachine guns. One thing you guys want to do, you guys will see this with all my classes, I have a regular build with a Semtex, and then I have a build with a frag grenade, and this is just going to make it so you can swap for search and destroy or respawn like very quickly. For the next build we are going to be going over, you guys could probably guess it. Yes, it's going to be the VAZNEV 9K. This is up there with the Val 46 as some of the best SMGs in the game. So the first attachment, you guys already know, you want to go over to the muzzle and throw on the spiral flash hider. This is going to eliminate all of that recoil. And then for the next attachment, you guys want to go over to the underbarrel. If you want recoil control, like if you're using this build and you're missing some shots, then run the commando foregrip. Say you're silver or gold and below, you might want to consider running the edge 47, and then if you are a pretty good player, run the shark fin 90. For the next attachment, we are going to be adding the true tag grip. This is going to really bring up the mobility again, making it a lot easier to win a gunfight. If you and the enemy see each other at the same time, you should be able to pull up your weapon very quick. And then for the last attachment on the meta pro player build, I have a variation of it, but for this one, you want to throw on the ultras at stock. This is just going to fine tune the weapon, making it a little bit lighter and make it so you can run around the map and find enemies a little bit quicker. If you guys do want to increase the damage range on the weapon, basically making the weapon a lot stronger, and you don't mind it being a little bit slower, then I would go over to the barrel and I would throw in the cost barrel. It's just going to increase that damage range. It's just you guys are going to see the mobility is going to be a little bit slower. But with all that said, if you guys do want a screenshot of the no recoil ranged VAZNEV build, this is it. If you want the no recoil build, here you guys go. And then if you want the overall pro player build and the build that is my personal favorite, run the shark fin 90 on there. And then for the rest of the class, just to show you guys, it's going to be the exact same as the Val 46, and then I got a build with a frag grenade and then one with the Semtex. This next gun I want to go over is the KASTOV 545. And before you fast forward and go straight to the TAC build, trust me, this gun is so astronomically underrated. You will be so surprised the amount of kills that you will be getting with the KASTOV 545. And like this category of weapon, the KASTOVs are all very good. Like there's a reason the KASTOV 762 is banned. With all that said though, for the build, there isn't one set build that everyone runs, but I'm going to be giving you guys a build that everybody kind of uses. This is going to be on the muzzle. You want to throw on the VLK Colossus flash hider. This is just going to remove a lot of that recoil, making it a lot easier to use at range. For the underbarrel, again, if you want recoil control, run the commando or the edge. Commando is is a little bit lighter. For me and most players, we are going to be adding the shark fin 90 just so there's no cons and just removes all the idle sway. For the next attachment, because the iron sights are a little bit weird, I do like to run an optic. I'm going to be running the Cronin Mini Pro. The Slimline Pro is also another very good option. If you do not want to run an optic, then I would go over to the ammunition and I would throw in the high velocity rounds. That's going to make the weapon a lot more responsive, but like I said, for me, I kind of like to run an optic. And then for the stock, you guys want to go ahead and throw on the KASTOV Rama or the Pro Light. So if you're on Mercado or if you're using this build and you're super aggressive, then I would run the Pro Light so you can take advantage of that mobility. But if you are playing like a typical AR, kind of holding lanes, then I would run the KASTOV Rama just so you get a little bit more mobility, but it's not going to be really hurting the weapon at all. For me, all around, I usually like to run the KASTOV Rama. And for the last attachment, you guys want to go over to the rear grip and throw in the True Tag grip. Again, it's just going to make the weapon a lot easier to use. Basically, every gun in this game has a very slow mobility compared to every cut, and so that's why a lot of the guns, we just gotta like boost them up to make them feel normal. So if you guys do want a screenshot of the build, here you guys go. There is one other build that you guys can try out. You basically go over to the barrel and then you throw on the KASTOV 406, I believe. This is kind of like a long range tack build. It's just I feel like I'm a little bit better when I run a rear grip over the barrel. And then for the rest of the class, we are going to be having the same exact stuff. I got the double time bomb squad fast hand, and then for the field upgrades, if I am using an AR, I will be running the trophy system. Even in search and destroy, I'll be running the trophy system unless I don't really need to. It kind of depends on what my teammates are using. The next build we are going to be going over is going to be the TAC 56 build. One thing that I want to let you guys know, I don't know if it's just me, but when I run a build with the Cali burn loadout, like this one that's clear, I swear it gives me like ghost bullets. Basically, I hit the enemy, but it doesn't register it. And like the second I took off the Cali burn, I started doing way better. And so let me know in the comments if the same thing happens to you. With all that said though, for the first attachment, there is a couple different builds, and so this is going to be a universal attachment that you're going to be using on every single build. We are going to be going over to the stock, and you want to throw in the Cardinal or the X-Line Pro. I will be giving you guys two meta setups, then you can kind of like interchange things and make it how you like. For this first one, it's going to have the Cardinal stock. This is going to allow you to run around the map a lot quicker, and it's going to increase that strafe speed. And in this game, you got to strafe walk a lot, and so this is going to really make the weapon feel good, and you'll be a harder target to hit. For the next attachment, we are going to be going over to the barrel, and we are going to be adding the Tundra Pro barrel. If you are on a small map or just in general playing super aggressive with this gun, you actually don't need a barrel. You'll gain more from having more mobility than you will be from having a little bit more damage range. Basically, on the big maps, you have to run the Tundra. On the smaller ones, you don't really need to. Overall, though, I always just run the Tundra because I'm too lazy to switch my class. For the next attachment, to make the weapon a lot easier to use, we are going to be going over to the muzzle, and we are going to be adding the VLK Colossus Flash Hider. Again, removes a lot of that recoil, hurts the mobility a little bit, but I think it's definitely worth it. Another very good one is going to be the Corvus / Gen 2. I just found myself doing a little bit better with the Colossus. This next attachment, we are going to be going over to the underbarrel, and we are going to remove all the idle sway on the weapon, giving us predictable recoil. So throw on the FSS Shark Fin 90. If you want recoil control, like I always say, feel free to throw on the Commando, or if you want a lot, add the Edge 47. And then for the last attachment, so I do swap these in and out, just depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'll be running the high velocity rounds just to make the weapon basically have a better hit registration. You won't notice them leaving your gun and hitting the enemies quicker. You'll just feel like you're playing on a better ping. It's kind of weird. What you can also do is go over to the rear grip and then throw on the clean shot grip to get a little bit more mobility, making the weapon not feel so heavy. Another very good build is going to be exactly like this, but you take off the shark fin and then you add the high velocity. This is another very good build, and this is what I mean by like there's so many different variations. So with all that said, this is one of my favorite tac builds to be using in ranked play right now. And then for the secondary, I'll be running a pistol or a knife. It doesn't really matter, except for if you're playing on hydroelectric. If you're on hydroelectric, please run this exact pistol build. This is going to make it so you can hit the enemies with one hit underwater. You're going to be able to fire a little bit quicker with this trigger. You don't really need this optic, but I found myself being a little bit more accurate when I do run the Cronin Mini Pro. And then we have the Cronin Lima 6 just so we can ADS and like swap to our pistol a lot quicker. The reason we do not run a barrel in this build is because we are using this underwater, and since this is actually going to be decreasing the bullet velocity, it's going to be very hard to hit the enemies underwater. Trust me, do not run a barrel and use this pistol underwater. And there's actually more to this class. So you guys can see on the perk package, I'm actually not going to be running the double time just because when I'm playing respawn with a tac, I'm usually kind of propped up holding lanes, and so to make myself more of a human centric, infantry turret, I got the battle hardened so then the stuns don't affect me, and then I have the bomb squad so the nades don't affect me as much. And then for my search and destroy class on here, I just kind of got the same exact thing. Depends if I use a pistol or not. Usually I use the knife so I can get up to my lanes a little bit quicker, and then if I'm playing off my teammates, I'll have the trophy system. If I'm playing more solo holding my own lane, then I'll just run the dead silence. And now for the final build of the video, the LACHMANN 556. This thing so freaking good. I should use it more because it honestly feels better than the TAC a lot of the time. Like, please use this thing and let me know how you like it, because this thing, I have a lot of fun with it when I do use it. So the first thing we are going to be doing is making the weapon a lot stronger and eliminating all the recoil to making it actually the best AR to be using at range. So throw on the LACHMANN Nova barrel. Yes, this is hurting the mobility a lot, which is why we are going over to the stock, and we are going to be adding the FT mobile stock. This is going to just make it so the ADS speed is a little bit quicker. Yes, we are losing some recoil control, but this barrel is giving us a lot, so that doesn't matter. For the muzzle, we're actually going to be using a different muzzle. You want to run the X10 ported just because this gun has basically no horizontal, just a lot of vertical recoil. This specializes in the vertical one, so it basically eliminates all the recoil on the weapon. For this next attachment to mitigate the cons that we are getting with the X10 ported, go over to the rear grip and we are going to be adding the LMK64 grip. This is just going to make it so you can run and gun a little bit easier, maybe win a gunfight against a submachine gun player, and you're going to have a snappier weapon with a small cost to your recoil control. And then for the last attachment, throw in the high velocity rounds just to make the hit registration a little bit better on the game. Obviously, if you don't notice a difference with the high velocity, then go over to the underbarrel and throw in the Shark Fin 90 or the Commando foregrip, or you can add an optic. Or if you really like the high velocity and you want to run an optic, then I would just take off the LMK64 grip. If you're playing on Mercado, like a small map, you don't really need a barrel, but all around this is probably going to be the best build for the LACHMANN 556, and this thing is absolutely amazing. And then again, I do have two, actually, oh, the bonus class. Here is the bonus class for you guys. So we actually got a sniper build. It's going to be the SPX80. So if you guys quickly want to take a screenshot, and this thing is honestly completely broken. I wish they would ban attachments on your sniper like they do in the CDL, because this thing is so stupid broken, especially because of that scope. You don't really, like, the enemies can't even tell that you have a sniper. That's how little the glint is on this optic. Also, make sure you copy down the pistol class for this one, because we're never going to be sniping on Hydro. This is going to be a strictly pistol class that you want to basically put in all your builds if you are running a pistol, not on Hydro, because we are running a barrel, the XRK, which is going to really make the mobility a lot better on the weapon. Everything else is the same, and that's going to wrap it up for this video. So if you did find it helpful, make sure you leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like that, hit the subscribe button, and deuces.